This planet is at a tipping point. People are choosing open platforms powered by blockchains, ensuring money flows through the hands of everyday people.
Institutional investors are getting engaged.
A new wave of global institutions are investing in Bitcoin and blockchain technology, while demand for cryptocurrencies has reached historic heights, forever changing the way we give to the causes we care about, and how we exchange, earn, and spend. The future is decentralized. The world is moving forward.
Jin Chao.
Nice to meet you.
Likewise.
And where are you from?
Well, I grew up in the US and I currently live in Asia. I've been there for the last 10 years.
What's your speech here in the Web Summit?
What's my speech?
Yes.
I spoke on cryptocurrency and real-world adoption.
In all over worlds, or in, for example, only in Europe or only in America, for example?
Oh, I speak all over the world. So I'm here today in Lisbon, but in the past 6 months I've spoken in Dubai, Istanbul, Sao Paulo, Buenos Aires, Tel Aviv, so yeah, and as well as Asia and Singapore and Korea.
And you have your own platform with Binance, or what is the platform?
Binance is 2.5 years old. The founder is not with me today. I'm the strategy officer here. We are quite a large cryptocurrency exchange. We're generally considered the largest cryptocurrency exchange in the world by volume, so we transact $1 to $2 billion a day.
What you can say about Russian market? How much visitors in your platform from Russia, from Ukraine, Belarus, these countries?
Well, I would say the Russian market is very big. First, is very big in crypto overall, and then particularly for Binance, we have a lot of very active users. And it's not just the users that are involved in crypto, but you have a lot of miners in Russia, and you have a lot of technical developers that are developing on the blockchain and also developing using the Binance chain as well. So it's a very key market for us.
Every day cryptocurrencies changes, for example, Bitcoin growing, falling. What you can say about your future of cryptocurrency, of your platform, for example? What will be the future next year? And
Well, sure. Well, we became the largest exchange in the world about 2 years ago, and I think we still represent over 50% of the global volume. So I think we're in very good position to stay the leader for a while, and hopefully for a long time. But I would say for the industry, it's still very, very young. So although Bitcoin is over 10 years old, the recent adoption is really over the last 2 years, we went from 0.1% global adoption to about 1%. So even today, only about 1% of anyone on the planet has cryptocurrency. It's probably much higher in Russia because they've adopted much more heavily, but it's still very early. And I think until we reach about 10 to 20% adoption, you'll still see a lot of price fluctuation in cryptocurrency. So I expect that Bitcoin, for example, will continue to go up by quite a bit. So until there's stabilization, most people are going to probably be trading it and speculating.
what you're thinking about, for example, I can go to another country and buy some goods for Bitcoins or now cryptocurrencies, not changes my money to from euro, Russian rubles, USD and something like this. What you're thinking about this, when it will be in cryptocurrencies?
Well, that's the long-term goal, is that one day we're on a global currency, but there's going to be many different types of cryptocurrencies. So for example, you might have your own coin one day or token one day to sell assets or securitize assets that you own that will be exchangeable into Bitcoin or other coins and then used into perhaps my own coin. So that's the liquidity that Binance is providing. We want to make sure that all the coins can be easily traded, similar to the foreign exchange market. But I do think that the larger goal of, for example, Bitcoin is to become a global currency and replace all the central bank issued currencies one day. I think that would take a very long time, but it has happened before. So for example, currently we have the euro, and it's only 20 years old, but the euro is actually took the place of many different currencies in the past, right? The German Deutschmark, French franc, etc. So I think this is a natural evolution for a global monetary system because the world is globalizing, and countries are going to continue to trade with each other and exchange knowledge with each other and learn from each other, and so it's natural that the currencies will evolve that way.
And what do you think, for example, now is more popular Bitcoin, and maybe in future will be another cryptocurrency. For example, how I can understand that it's good investments for this, for example, new currency?
Well, that's a difficult question. As an exchange, it's difficult for us to give investment advice. What we do is we look at all the projects and make sure that the teams are strong teams, that they're focused on solving a problem, and that the token has a utility that the company is proposing. But in the marketplace, it's very different. So I can show you 10 different shoes, and you have a different preference for one shoe. I may have a preference for another, and we have different values for that. So it's very difficult for each investor to know what the future will be for each of these. I think that's part of the challenge, but over time it'll be clearer that more people will agree on specific currencies. And I think right now most people agree that Bitcoin is still the preferred solution for this. Yeah.
And also some questions about what you can advise if I'm not any know about currencies. What I can do, like as become investments or understand what happens in the market, or maybe some platforms become an IPO and I can invest in these platforms. How I can understand that it's good investment in this platform in IPO?
Sure. Well, I think the first thing, and it's the responsibility of all investors to do their own research, and Binance provides a lot of that research. So we have Binance Academy, which is really just to educate broadly. What is cryptocurrency? What is blockchain? How does it work? What are the pros and cons? So this is basic education. So that's to get comfortable with the technology. If you want to know specifically about a project, we also have Binance Research. Binance Info talks about specifically how to use our platform to trade. But if you want to learn about specific types of projects, we have Binance Research, which gives like a report on recent developments, what the liquidity looks like, what the supply looks like, what adoption looks like. And so these are like the stock reports that Wall Street will issue each quarter. So we do cover that as well. But I would recommend, the very first thing to do is perhaps register on Binance and then just read as much information as possible. And not just on Binance, but anywhere on the internet, to learn as much as you can. Then when you're comfortable, then you can start to invest. I think that's the first thing. And that applies not just to cryptocurrency, but it applies to stocks, it applies to real estate, it applies to a house that you're going to buy, right? You always want to do research and know what you're buying.
And I'm right to understand that do you have own academy when you can ask about cryptocurrencies, what I need to do now, right? Or no?
Do we have our own?
You have on you like as crypto academy when I can study in Binance?
Yes, we have something called Binance Academy, which you can find on our website, Binance.com. So it's a section that's a library of all kinds of educational material, and there's also a lot of video content as well. So that's Binance Academy. We also have Binance Info to teach you how to use our website and our application, our app, and then we also have Binance Info. So we have a lot of information out there for people to learn about.
As well as 2 free learning centers dedicated to expanding crypto and blockchain knowledge.
And what do you need now for your business, for Binance? For example, you need more products management or investments, or some people who know in IT sphere. What do you need for you growing in different countries?
What do we need? I see. Well, yes, I think the whole industry could use more technical talent. So developers, both the product side as well as the technical side, back end and front end, are useful. But also even just to do more partnerships to grow the ecosystem, not just with other crypto companies, but also with traditional companies. And I think a lot of traditional companies now are starting to have blockchain departments to understand how they can use blockchain and crypto in their business. So I think that will help grow a lot. And then of course, the regulatory environment needs to evolve as well. I think it's much clearer here in Europe. It's a little more uncertain in, say, North America. And then there are a lot of parts of the world that are still very unregulated. So that needs a little more clarity from policymakers to help grow the industry as well.
Okay, that's why if some people from the real sectors or from who doing developments in front end, back end can write you and be a partner of your platform.
Yeah, I would suggest if anybody wants to work at Binance or with Binance, that you can also go to Binance.com and see what HR positions we have available. But even if you don't want to work at Binance, there's a lot to do. We have Binance X, which is a developer platform. So you can go to Binance X and take a look at the types of problems that we're trying to solve, and we give fellowships to developers who want to use our tools and create a solution. We also have Binance Labs, which invests in early stage projects to help them commercialize their solution into a business. And then if the business is successful, they have an opportunity to list on Binance and use Binance Launchpad, which is our initial exchange offering arm. So there's a lot of ways that we can help someone from the developer stage to the commercialization stage to even the listing stage.
Okay, and what do you thinking about Web Summit? You coming here the next year?
Yeah, this is the first time that Binance has come to Web Summit. It's a very large, probably the largest technology conference in Europe. And I think as cryptocurrency begins to be more widely adopted, it'll be more relevant for us to come. So I think one thing I learned on this one is that we need to prepare a little bit further ahead of time for all the meetings. There's so many different types of companies and so many different types of people and even media that we didn't know about. And so we'll definitely like to come back and hopefully get even more out of it next year.
It's your first experience.
This
It's
is
so
my first-
global
yes.
conference.
Yeah, this is my first time here, and there are other big conferences like this in other regions in Asia and North America, but I think this one is pretty worthwhile for Europe.
Okay, thank you for the interview. Thank you for your coming in Web Summit.
Thank you for having me, Anna.
Yeah.
Thank you.